Hello, I'm on the bank here at Summerlees Farm. I'm just doing a few hours, see if I can get myself a fish. Got 3 rods out. Half the lake's frozen. I say that actually, there's only a small bit which isn't frozen. I've taken advantage of that and fishing in there. I was going to see if I needed to smash any ice or anything like that, but I'm lucky I've got a bit here. Just using single baits. One of them has a bottom bait on, 2 of them pop-ups. The bottom bait is got a tiny little PVA stick on it just to give it some added attraction, but basically fishing singles and just put them in most likely carpy spots that I've produced in the past, and then I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to move them. If I don't get anything, I don't get anything. If I do, there we go. But I'm actually doing this video today to, I wanted to get to Higher Kingcombe really, to do a bit of a video on sort of how I fish my zig, but I couldn't get there, so I've come up here. I thought I'd just show you what I did really. So I had 2 nice fish out of, well, they're all nice fish up there, out of Higher Kingcombe, and I had both of them on the zigs because what I found was during the daytime the carp were cruising around. Not necessarily on the surface, but in, you know, sort of 2 foot under the surface sometimes. Sometimes very deep, but it was clear to me that if I had 3 rods out on the bottom the whole time, I'd be wasting my time because they were cruising. The amount of carp in the lake that would have been on the bottom picking up food, there wasn't that many, so I thought my best chance would be to intercept the carp that are cruising around. So it's a small lake, so without sort of chucking a lead around finding depths, I just sort of climbed the odd tree, spotted a shoal of fish, or watched them for a few hours, work out what depth they're roughly swimming at. You can normally, because it's clear water, you can normally tell quite easily how deep they're cruising at. And as simple as that, you make up a zig and fish it at that depth. But a couple of people said, what zig was it I was using, and this is it here, look. Basically that is a size 10 Corda mixer hook, actually it is. That's the one I've always used, they're perfect. I've got Corda Control, they're sort of floating dog biscuit line, that sort of thing, floater line, and that's absolutely perfect for this zigging. There's no natural sort of curves in the line or anything like that, like you'd get with fluorocarbon or anything like that. It's nothing but, or mono, it's just, there's a little bit of, tiny bit of stretch in it as well, which I quite like because you want this to be as natural as possible. And if it's if there's a little bit of leeway as they take it in, I think that could be quite beneficial, but possibly not. But that's my theory anyway. So that's a size 10 hook, so you can see roughly the sort of size of the bait. You get this zig foam, most companies do it, it's cheap as chips, and my preferred colours are black and yellow, and I do it that way round particularly because I think that a natural bug in the water would have the larger, like a wasp or something like that, the brighter colour would be the larger bit. So that's why I've done it that way round, but I'm sure it doesn't make too much difference. That's the way I've done it and it's been successful. Yeah, so that's the zig bug, and I've tied that, I've tied that very close to the hook there, as you can see, not like a hair. I mean, it is on a hair, not KD style, just a hair straight out the end, and that's very close there. I choose these colours as well because in dark water, the yellow is going to stand out more, and in clear water, the black is going to stand out more. So, you can use it anyway. Really, it's always going to be standing out. And that's the zig rig. Lengthwise and how I attach it, I put it on an inline lead system, really small 1 ounce, so that there's minimal splash. The weight's simply there just to hold it at that depth, and that's it. What I do then is I adjust it. So Higher Kingcombe in particular, they do change depth sometimes where they're cruising. Sometimes they'll cruise at the left side of the lake, sometimes they'll cruise at the right, which are different depths. Not much, but they are different. So there are many ways you can do it. Some people put a float on the line and then do it a bit like a marker lead style, so that when you release the line it rises with a little float like that, sort of at the bottom of your zig line like that, maybe 2 foot, and then you can just adjust how deep you want it. But I don't like that system. I find the float can, you know, I don't like the idea of the float being so close to the hook length, so I literally just put it to the length I want, and if it's any different I'll either trim it down or just tie a new one. You know, it's this type of rig, there's not much involved. It's not going to cost you a lot to whip up a new one. It's so simple, it only takes a minute or two. So yeah, that's my preferred way of doing it. So yeah, when it comes to zigging, I think it's great advantage because bottom baits, you know, they're not going to find them so much. My last fish that I had at Higher Kingcombe, the common, they were patrolling in the margins about 2 meters out from me. Not right the way in, but that's where they're patrolling. And if I was to put a bottom bait down there, they wouldn't have picked it up. It was very choddy. There's lots of crap in the margins. But what I found was if I put that zig at the depth that they were cruising at, I swung it in slyly and just waited. And lo and behold, that's how I picked it off. And I think using this method as well, because it's a very riggy lake, and they have seen a lot of rigs, I think a zig rig is not so commonly used by many people. I think it's less likely to be on their mind. It's a safe rig, if you like. So that's how I fish my zigs. That's pretty much it. I'm going to see if I get a fish today. If I do get a fish, I'll probably show you actually. But yeah, I'll try and get up at Higher Kingcombe again next time, and I'll show you a bit more about it really. Yeah, nice.